Okay, hi everybody, it's me, Bonka922. It's Thursday. Time for a little Witch and the Beast. Episode 3, Pastime, The Witch's Pastime, Final Act. Now, in this episode, there's a twist. You know, not as well. This was actually very surprising to find out who was behind the murders, who was behind everything that was going on from last week's episode. So, it's I kind of want to say it's a letdown, but it made sense to an extent. Now, we do get a clarification. Haynes, because you know her name, Haynes. First name was Kira. She is the one who's helping Ashaf and Gudo. And Kira apparently has some kind of baggage with this witch. We don't know what it is, but there's baggage. Now, majority of this episode, we focus on them gaining more clues, finding out who's doing this, how this is all going about. What they end up doing is Kira, Ashaf, and Gudo go to this shop that has a book there that is like connected to the witch. There are these sayings and things that the witch she leaves messages. She leaves with an MO basically. And when they go there, the person who runs the shop is dead. So the witch obviously got to him. So we go from that to when that whole scene has transpired, we have Gudo and Ashhoff going their separate way from Kira, and they get attacked by the witch. Now, what's weird about this instance is that every time you see the witch, you believe it to be an actual witch. She's old and decrepit looking. But what you find out is when we finally get a good look at her, that's just a mask. So it's not really her. Which, okay, that some red flags there. But they end up finding Hashoff and Gudo, and it's this Gudo. She just runs in and gravity playing and gets her claw cleaned, kind of. But her magic ability is she shoots out this purple mist, and in the purple mist there are things that she throws, like debris or that kind of thing. Kira sees them again and finds out they were attacked, and that's when Gudo's saying to her, and Hashoff is also saying, "What is your connection with this witch?" Then we get the flashbacks. So basically, her children were killed, supposedly, by the witch. They were in a burned out, her apartment got burned to ground. And that was the first message of the witch. Later on, her boyfriend, who I believe was Cole, his name was Cole? Yeah, Cole Rubin. They are in an alleyway, ready to confront the witch. He goes after her. He gets hit with a brick. A huge fucking brick that takes off his fucking head. His head, my goodness. So, and she explains how this witch is connected to her in some way, shape, or form. The witch this is a game for her, this witch. And she's going after anyone who's connected to her. So, that's the whole gist. Now, the witch contacts them and says that in 3 days she's going to be at the station. This is when they confront her. Same spiel as before. She throws bricks and debris from the mist. And everyone, some people die of the cops. But, Gudo's alive, and Ashfal's alive, and Kira's alive. And ashaf knows where she is, where the witch is. Finds their location, goes and finds them. It's 2 kids. Not a witch. It's 2 kids. And here's the real kicker. It happens to be Kira's sons. What we eventually find out is that they are not... They're adopted. They're adopted. So... The whole thing is that they loved her and that they wanted to keep other people away from her because they love her. I don't know. Now, the explanation is that they have 2 grimoires. They're basically tomes that someone can pick up and use magic on, sort of par with an actual witch. So, Hashaf, the whole point is that you have to make a price when using these grimoires. So, he created these fake police officers with leather bags filled with red liquid. So they couldn't get the price, the sacrifice of the tomes. And they end up getting owned by Gudo. Yeah, they get... So this was like a case of saying she didn't even need the coffee for this crap. But it's kind of a dark situation because when's on happening, they don't actually show it happening. They kind of do. Not completely. Kira, yeah, she kills them. Now, it's pretty graphic, but the thing is this, they weren't her actual children, they were adopted. Now, I'm not condoning that, but this was pretty, wow, killing children. I mean, this is a dark anime. It's really dark. Damn. Now, the epilogue of the case is that she's able to do this. She's able to solve the case because of this whole situation. And, this is weird because it's like it was her own Of course, Gudo, she's really pissed that, I'm sorry, I apologize for my pronunciation. Gudo, you say it like that. Anyway, she's upset about it because this was not an actual witch. And she was looking at Hashra like, you knew it, didn't you? You knew they weren't witches. I love the dynamic. But anyway, Kira says her goodbyes to them and moves on away. I mean, this is pretty effed because they killed her boyfriend. They could have had a nice life together, and they just... But they were destined to pick up those grimoires, and that's the way it is. Overall, I thought it was kind of anticlimactic. I don't know anybody else with this show, with this case specifically. I find it very okay. It kind of was like, I'm not saying it was dropping hints. Because how can you drop hints here when it's her actual children doing this, when clearly they didn't really drop hints during this case that it was actually them? Because you can't really tell. Every time you saw the witch, it seemed like an old witch. But that was just a mask. And you don't get that. Even at the end of the last episode, you see the person's face and she's laughing. And It looks like an old person, which is very scary, by the way. That was nightmare fuel. But I thought it was good. Going to give this a 9 out of 10, though. It wasn't great. I really should be giving this an 8 out of 10. But I'll give the benefit of the doubt 9 out of 10 because there was a twist. Kind of thing. It did what it needed to do. To a certain extent. But that's all I got for you guys. This is Bonkai Night 22. I'll probably do Mosh tomorrow. Not tomorrow, Saturday. Now, I should mention, next week, we got some first impressions to do. One of them... well, two of them. Well, actually, no, one of them, because one I'm going to be doing next week. And the others I'm not going to be able to do next week until the following week. Because I'm doing it from episode 5. One of them, I can't fathom what makes this show tick. It's just ridiculous. But look forward to that. This is Bonkai Night 22. It's not really a witch. It's two kids with grimoires. Right? Whatever. I'll see you guys later.